Well, it's been about 2 weeks since they poured the concrete. I think it's finally time we move in this shop. Tomorrow will be Friday, and that'll be 2 weeks since they poured the concrete. I think that's more than enough time for it to set up and be strong enough to get a tractor, you know, because I got to move my equipment in here, get a tractor on there. Let's just go inside real quick and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, looks pretty, don't it? It sure is echoey in here right now. Hopefully when I get some of the equipment in here, it'll help that some. But yes, sir, we got us a shop, fellas. Very, very excited about it. We got us a pretty good shower today, and there was a puddle right here, so that tells me we got us a leak. Well, matter of fact, that board right there is wet, so I'll have to look into that. Which it was a downpour. It rained pretty hard. Anyway, let's get out of here because it's really echoey. Well, as you can see, you know, I got a pretty big drop off from the concrete to the ground. Ain't as bad over there, but we got to take care of that before I can ever get my tractor in there. It ain't a four-wheel drive. I don't believe it'll make it over it. I can't afford to pour the apron right now. This here, it wiped me out on money for a little bit, so we'll have to let my money build back up before we pour this apron. So this is what I'm gonna do. I got a load of crusher run in the dump truck right now. I'm gonna pour this, you'll build it up good enough to where we can get in and out with a tractor or a vehicle to work on for now. And then, you know, it may take a few weeks to get up enough money to pour this apron. We'll get it poured eventually, don't worry. But for now, I'm just gonna spread gravel, compact it, make me a little ramp to get up in it. Before we do that, there's some other stuff I want to do. Been so busy with other stuff. Still got all the braces around it. We need to tear them down. And well, I've done spent all afternoon cleaning up all this metal. I need to burn that. I need to take it back over to Mama's. Gotta take that to the landfill, old tarps. Something else I'm gonna do here in just a little bit. Build my fence around this plum tree. As you can see, well, let me get up closer, maybe you can see. They done started turning red. So the deer, they'll be eating them here for too long. I can't have that, no sir. So I got to build my fence so they won't eat them. It's late in the evening, so I'm probably done for the day. I just want to start the video and show y'all what all we're going to do. We will start tomorrow morning, probably tearing these braces. But let me show you this. Before I started this intro, it come a flood, yes sir. And I'll just show y'all the video of it, and then you might understand, you know, why I did this. Why I didn't dig down grade to the low side. No sir, you ain't gonna do that here unless you want to flood your shop. What I'm gonna have to do, this side and back side and that side over there, I'm gonna have to get me a little bit of dirt and slope it. I'm afraid rainwater comes right through here. Well, you can see where it's sort of washed it out a little bit right there. I'm afraid that water is gonna get up under that gravel and make that dirt under the concrete, you know, a little mushy. It may shift around, it'll bust that concrete. I'm afraid it's, you know, possibly already happened. Hopefully not, but that's the plan. Get dirt on 3 sides, and then of course we'll have an apron out here. But anyway, tomorrow morning I reckon we'll start doing something. Well, let me show you what I'm fixing to do right now. I got probably just enough daylight to do this. We'll go over to the pool and I'll show you. She looks pretty nasty, yes sir. I would normally have this thing open middle of May. It'd be ready to go. If y'all can see it, there's a bullfrog right over yonder swimming. If you've seen the video from last summer, you know, I had a deer get in here. Well, 2 or 3 years before that, I had a deer get in it. It tore my liner all up. It's got over 100 patches, I believe, 90 to 100, somewhere like that. And well, where the water level is now, that's where it stayed most of the winter. So somewhere around there, I got a pretty big leak. I got to get in here in this nasty water in a minute. See if I can find that. You know, normally I would have it tarped over winter, but I knew it was going to leak and that tarp would sag, and I just said foo. I was planning on getting a new liner, but that thing right there cost me a lot more than I was planning, so this is going to have to last me 1 more year. But anyway, that's my plan for this evening. I built this pool, by the way, 8 years ago, I believe it was. Dug it out myself. The only thing I didn't do was the floor. I had a couple of fellers come in and do the floor because that's what they do for a living. I wanted it good and smooth, so I let them do that. But other than that, I built the whole thing, built all the deck, which the deck is about half rotten. A couple of boards broke right there. It is basically a retaining wall. Dry stack, well, actually I dug a footer and put rebar in it and then poured the concrete while the concrete was still wet. You set your first run of block down in it, all ½ inch or so. And you stick rebar in every other hole of the block. And then let that set up, and you come back and you dry stack your blocks, pour them full of concrete, let that set up, and that's pretty much the walls. And then, you know, the rest of it's just building a pool. And as you can see, I do not have concrete around it. I got a diving board, I just ain't got nowhere to put it. Maybe next spring, I can get some concrete poured. Pad down there, and I want a sidewalk down the side, and then a patio out here. Not gonna start on this, like I said. So let me show y'all that video of the small river coming through my backyard, and then we'll start on this tomorrow morning. For those of you who wondered why I didn't dig down and grade to the low side, why I filled in so much with Crusher Run, well, here's your answer. I know the lay of the land, fellers. Around here, you don't put a floor below grade, no sir, not unless you want it flooded. We definitely got some storm drain work that we got to do. Well, here's your shot of all the rainwater converging. Yes, sir. It all goes right under the deck. It's washed half the dirt away from under the deck. There's a small storm drain right in this area somewhere. Of course, it's overwhelmed right now. You know, we had the storm drain out there by the telephone pole, and then the one in the shop that we covered up. Well, neither one of them had worked for years because right here at the corner of the pool, it settled and it crushed I used that black corrugated pipe. Well, it crushed it, so those two haven't been working for years. But yes, sir, this is what it does when it rains pretty good around here. We got to fix that. Well, I'm out here putting my fence up around my plum tree so the deers don't eat what's left. It ain't much left of it. Anyway, I come over here to the front of Dumas, a bird flew out. Well, she done built her nest in front of Dumas. See them little bitty eggs? I reckon I'll get away and let her come back. Well, it's the next day, and yes, I am out here in the pool. I found the hole. I had to drain the water down a little more last night. I knew the hole was there. I was hoping that wasn't the issue, but I think it is, because I can't find a hole anywhere else. It's pretty large. I don't know if y'all can tell or not, because I already got a patch over it. Pretty large, and right there in that corner, it really makes it hard to patch. Don't expect that to hold, but you know, I got to give it the old try. Anyway, I'm gonna fill it up, and then we need to get out there and start working on the garage, I guess. Well, I was gonna start with pulling these braces down, but it's 95 degrees, heat index of 110, humidity, it's gotta be 1000%. Yes, sir, it's awful today. So I'm just gonna wait on that. But I need to run this black pipe. I've got to do that before I start dumping gravel here, because I want to run it up as close to the building as I can. So I need to dig some of this gravel here out before, you know, so I can put the pipe and then dump gravel on top of it. Because if you go back and look at the video, we got quite a bit of water. It comes around here on this corner. You got it coming down the little driveway here, and then the downspout on the garage there. It floods, which it don't come over here, so it's not really all that important. But right now I want a black pipe under that gravel to take care of that water, and then what's coming down here, we'll have to figure out something eventually. Might have to put a small storm drain here, or just see if I use this bigger gravel. Hopefully it won't wash it away and just let it run on down here. And I will probably put a storm drain somewhere right here about the corner of the building to take care of all this water up here. Anyway, it's really hot, like I said. I have removed some clothing. Y'all don't want to see that, so when I get this done, I'll be back to show you. All right, I got them ran. I did 2 runs because I'm not real sure how much water comes around the side of this building. I didn't get out here in it yesterday because, well, it was thundering and lightning. I don't want to be outside when it's doing that. But I would say that once I get my gutters up, I'm gonna put the downspout right here at this pipe, And then, remember how I told you we got a storm drain here at the light pole. Get it fixed where it'll drain. And then cut me a small ditch. I used to have one. A small ditch across here to catch all this here, make it run in there. There probably won't be a whole lot to run through here. But just in case there is, I decided to run two. Rather be safe than sorry. Anyway, let me get in the dump truck. I'm gonna back it up right over yonder. I'm gonna dump his first load. I'm gonna get 2 more loads at least, maybe 3. We'll just have to see. Also, oh, by the way, when I say I'm gonna put a small storm drain right here, well, you remember, we had that storm drain that we covered up, and then again the one at the light pole. Well, they converge the lines right in here somewhere. So I'll just stick a storm drain there, dig my lines over here, connect to them, and then, like I said, I think right there at the corner of the pool is where the pipe got crushed when that dirt settled. So we'll have to dig that up and fix that for sure. Well, that gravel don't want to come out of there. No, sir. It's done got wet, I do believe. It's sticking to the bed. I'm gonna have to give her a shake or two. Maybe it'll clean it out. I have to lower the bed a little bit though, because as you can see, it drags the ground. That bed needs to be a foot or so shorter on the back. Anyway, let me see if I can shake it out of there. Well, as you can see, I don't have any more gravel. That's the first load I dumped out. Got to the end of the road and hit the brakes on the dump truck, and well, it was not good. Wasn't a loss of pedal, it was just really hard, and I almost didn't get the truck stopped. Most likely, well, you remember, a month or so ago when I fired this thing up first time, it had been a year or so since it had been drove. Lost all brake fluid out of the master cylinder. And I told y'all it's probably going in this vacuum booster here. Well, that combined with this tells me that we need to let's just change that unit out, because this thing empty was hard enough to stop. With it loaded down with 5 tons of gravel, it'd be a whole lot harder, and I'm just not gonna risk running over somebody. So this one here is a remanufactured one. I've had it for a while. So let me swap them out. This one here is a little bit different. Ports are in a little different location, so I'll have to bend brake lines to get them all maneuvered around. That'll take me a little while. Today is Friday. The gravel store is closed Saturday, so this is what we got here. I won't get this done in time to go get a load, so I think what we'll do is this was probably enough for here, but I'm gonna move it over here because this doesn't have the drop that does. Anyway, I think it'd be good enough to make us a ramp, get in there, move stuff in with a tractor. That way, tomorrow we won't be just sitting around doing nothing. Anyway, let me get that changed out. Well, I'm up under here trying to get this hydrovac brake assembly out of here, and I noticed I got lots and lots of Earl on my exhaust right there. Last couple times I've drove this truck, I've noticed a slight oil burning smell. Well, that's where it's coming from, and it looks like it's either front and or rear main seal. We may have to drop that pan. It'll drop right out. May have to drop that pan and put new seals on it. Well, here's the old one. Here's the new one. As you can see, there's quite a bit of difference. Vacuum canister, whatever, it's smaller on the new one, and it's shorter on the new one. But this truck always had really, really sensitive brakes. You just barely touch the pedal and it tries to lock them up sometimes. So maybe this old one was too big. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna swap them out. It's gonna take some finagling, fittings, and whatnot. May not get it done today. Might have to go to town and get some fittings. Anyway, let me get it back up under there. Well, it's gonna take more than just this evening to get this on. because the fittings are too different. And I ain't sure that this will work. But let me show you this real quick. Remember how, you know, I said the brake fluid was just disappearing? I thought it was going into here. It is. Well, you see this fluid here. This is the control valve. All thing's supposed to be in here is vacuum or fresh air. And I tipped it up, and fluid come out of here and come out of this is the vacuum going to the motor. And this is for the fresh air. Fluid ain't supposed to be coming out here is what I'm trying to tell you. Watch this. Well, yeah, there it comes there. It ain't supposed to be doing that. So that's what was going on. This is going to have to be rebuilt. And I don't know. It's yeah, it's unbearably hot is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm sweating like crazy and I can't even think straight. So I'm done for the day. I think what we'll do, move that truck around over yonder to the side, get it out of the way so I can get the tractor in here, move this gravel over there. That's gonna happen tomorrow because, like I said, I'm done. It's too hot. Tis the next day again. Here's 24 hours of putting water in the pool. Once we get the deep end full, which it was already full, it'll do about 1 inch an hour. So it takes about 2 days to fill the shallow end up. It's about 48 inches tall to the water level. So about this time tomorrow, it should be full. Here's what I did to the patch. You heard of flex tape. Well, I took some of that and put over it 3 pieces just to reinforce it. The flex tape, it's a decent patch. It doesn't stick for very long, but it's a pretty good patch. Anyway, I think what I might do, take my plugs out of my jets, go ahead and put the jets in and get the pump over there ready to go, and may go ahead and turn it on. And after that, well, they're calling for rain off and on all day, so we may not get much done, but it's Saturday, so you know, I take it easy on Saturday anyway. But anyway, going to get tractor, get that gravel moved to the next doorway over there, and hopefully we can get the tractor in there and start moving equipment in. Well, it started raining on me, so I did what anybody else would do. Went in the house and took a nap. I sure did. It was wonderful too. Once it quit raining, light didn't carry on. I come out here and pulled up all the bracing around the shop, threw it on my burn pile here. There was termites all over one of them from around back. And well, they were really muddy and dirty. I felt sorry for them, so I gave them a bath in Gascolines. Yes, sir, sure did. They seemed to like it pretty good. After that, I went ahead and finished my fence here. I put up this white stuff. You know, deer are kind of dumb. They liable to walk through it. Ain't no telling what else. I put that there to let them know, hey, there's a fence here, and I'm hoping the wind will blow that stuff around and maybe scare them away. And maybe my plums will survive and I'll be able to plant some new ones next year. What we're gonna do now, get on the old tractor. Finally gonna move this pile of gravel that I've been trying to do for 2 days now. Yes, sir, let's do that. Well, we now have a ramp. That's pretty doggone awesome. Out to right here is about 12 feetages. So that's about what I need to pour. I can probably drive my S10 up in there. Yes, sir, probably can. Anyway, it's getting kind of late, but I do want to bring some stuff in, easy stuff. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me just walk in here and I'll show you how I'm gonna lay it out. On this back wall here, right here, from this corner over to, I don't know, halfway or so, I want speed racks just as high as I can get them. That's where I'm gonna put all my partages. The bottom row is gonna be left for spare motors. You know, we got 2 over here now. That 318 that somebody gave me, and then the 327 out of Dude is in the garage. And they're gonna be lined up on the bottom here. And then, of course, you know, I put my plug right there for my air compressor. It's gonna be sitting right here. Welder over in this area. I got what I call a welding table. You'll see it here in a minute. Don't laugh. It's better than nothing. But it's gonna go here in the corner. I think my work table is gonna be right here in between these 2 poles, and toolbox, you know, here, And I want me a desk of some kind, have a computer. You know, if I need to look something up, I can get on the computer real quick. Might have me a little refrigerator over there with water and Gatorade. I love some Gatorade. Anyway, that's pretty much it for now because I don't have a whole lot of stuff to bring in here. But I think what we'll do, let's get like the welder first and maybe both of those motors, put them over there. And might grab the air compressor. It's kind of bulky, but I might can manage it by myself. But anyway, let's get the tractor up there at the front of the garage and go loading it up. And some of y'all, you might want to turn away because them old muddy tires on that tractor, they're gonna be coming right through here. Yes, sir. Fellers, this is a shop. It's gonna get dirty, gonna get oily. I ain't worried about it. I'm just very pleased that I got somewhere to work now. Yes, sir, this is awesome. Well, we are in the garage. I just want to show y'all real quick some of the stuff that I might be taking out there. Here's my weld table, International Diesel. It's some kind of old, very old test stand. Somebody give it to me. I'm using it for a weld table. I have been for quite some time. Anyway, it's going to come. Probably going to bring that buzz box with it. Here's my scrap metal pile. It'll be coming out there. We'll bring my MIG welder. Probably this bandsaw, but I'm not real sure yet. It's meant for wood. It turns too fast. I got to find a gearbox for it, but we might bring it. Of course, my work table's got to come, but good gracious, look at the mess on top of it. I got to clean. That's terrible. Toolbox, it'll be coming. I'm debating on bringing that or not. Probably will. We'll just have to see. Probably gonna bring this little cabinet here. That's where I put all my power tools. Of course, my air compressor over there. That drill press is coming. It's probably some small stuff. That's pretty much all the big stuff that I'm gonna bring out of here into there. Let me get this mower out of the way, and we may start with this weld table. Well, there's my first load of junk. Got my weld table, the old buzz box welder, an old extension cord reel. I'm gonna mount it somewhere, and then that's pretty much all my scrap metal. Let's get it to the shop. If I ever get tired, I got me a chair. I'll probably never use this welder, but if I ever need it, I got it. I ain't real sure where I'm gonna put this reel just yet, so we'll set it down right here. Oh yeah. Let go of it. Ooh. I gotta get a rebuild kit for this little jack. No! Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, let's go get us another load. Big old sludge hammer. I'll put it right here for now. There's your new home, little buddy. I need to make a stand for this plastic cutter. I'm tired of being on top of the weld. Well, I'm trying to get my air compressor out of the garage and into the shop, and it weighs about 9,074 pounds. So I got my nephew over here to help me, and I'm telling you what, this sucker's heavy. Let's see if we can get it stood up and get it strapped to the bucket some kind of way. On three. 1, 2, 2.5, 10 3/4, 10, 7, 8. All right. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Wait a minute, it's got my shirts. All right. Whew. Son of a biscuit eater. Well, I reckon that'll do, moving junk in, and it is nothing but junk. But hey, it's my junk. It's the junk I use. Anyway, there's still a lot more junk left in the garage, but this will do it for now, because one day next week, possibly Monday, I might rent me a scissor lift. I need to go up all the cracks, all the corners with some spray foam insulation and fill those cracks in, trying to make this building airtight. Getting it ready, you know, for insulation and heating and cooling and all that. And I don't want to, you know, if I bring more stuff in, it's going to be put against the wall. Well, I'll just have to move it so I can get my scissor lift down there. And I haven't decided what type of insulation I'm putting on the walls. And I know I'll have to move the stuff again for that, but it won't be as bad. I won't have to be maneuvering a scissor lift in there. But anyway, until I get that done, and there's some other stuff too. You know, still got to do that brace, got to do that brace. I want to move that one over to the inside of the pole, because that bothers me. And I may move my security lights out here. May put one over here and then put one in the middle at the top up here. Do all that at once when I get the scissor lift. So we'll continue moving on once I get that done. But there's one more thing. I'm just wondering if if the old S10 will make it up that ramp, then we're good. I can bring anything here, because that thing's got maybe 3 inches of ground clearance, and let me tell you, it drags everywhere I go. It didn't drag there, so that angle of the ramp, I believe she'll be just fine and dandy. So whenever I do concrete out there, it's going to be just like it right there. Anyway, tomorrow's Sunday. Sunday's a day of rest. That's what I plan on doing. See y'all Monday. Well, I have been to town this morning and got an assortment of fittings here. I believe we can make this Hydrovac unit work on the old dump truck. So let me get all this sorted and put on here, get that put on the truck. We'll take her down the road and see how she does. Well, I do believe I got it together. I think it'll work. Let me give y'all a quick rundown on how this works. Of course, this is a vacuum booster. This is sort of like your master cylinder here. This is for vacuum, this is for fresh air. That's how it works. This is your input from your pedal, from your master cylinder. It comes in here, it operates this valve here. This lets vacuum come in and out of this back part here. The way it sits idle, you got vacuum on both sides. There's diaphragm in here. You got vacuum on both sides, so nothing's happening. Step on the pedal, this opens this valve and allows fresh air, that's what that's for, fresh air to come back here whilst you still have a vacuum here. Well, that forces this forward, forces the piston forward. This is your out and it goes to your brakes. That's basically how it works. This is vacuum. There'll always be vacuum here. Sometimes there'll be vacuum here. But that in a nutshell is how it works. So I had to finagle fittings on the front because these ports are different. Anyway, I think it's worked. Let's go put it on the truck. My only concern, this right here may interfere with this brake line. I'm gonna have to bend around it or do something. Anyway, we can make it work though. So let's go put it on the truck, see what it does. With Artez, it installed pretty easily. I'm kind of scared that it's not gonna work because it did go together too easy. Had to make a new line right here from the T over to the outlet. Other than that, yes sir, everything went smoothly. So let me get up top and get my power bleeder hooked up, and we'll see if we can't bleed them. All right, let's get this thing pumped up. I actually had the adapter to fit that master cylinder. That's awesome. I can't believe that. Anyway, let's get this pumped up a little bit. It's about 12, 13. It's not holding. That's kind of odd. I do not know why it's not holding. Means we got a leak somewhere. Let me get underneath and look. Well, we do have a leak. The input line going down here, it's got a banjo type fitting. You know, banjo bolt goes through it with a copper washer on either side of that little fitting, and it's leaking there. I kind of thought it might. It came with a little plastic washer. Here it is right here. I didn't put it on, but maybe I should have. So let me undo that and put this on there and see if it don't stop the leak. Well, I got the leak fixed. I used 2 wrenches like you're supposed to and got it tightened up. I also got it bled. It's got decent pedal, but the first push, it goes down a little further than I want it to, but that second one is good and solid. Seemed like it may have done that before. I don't remember. That little power bleeder, that's twice now we've bled a vehicle. It is just easy as pie. Yes, it took 5 minutes. So that thing right there, handier than sliced bread. Anyway, I'm gonna get in it, take it down the road, see how it does. If y'all don't hear from me again, well, I lost my brakes and I crashed and burned. Hopefully I'll be back in a little bit. Well, the brakes on the old dump truck, they ain't right, no sir. Push it all the way to the floor that first time. When it finally catches, well, it'll throw you through the windshield. And it used to do that, you'll be that touchy. But the pedal going all the way to the floor, that's evidence of still got some air in the system. So I'll probably bleed on it again tomorrow. Right now I gotta work on the pool some more. Let me take off around there and just show you what I'm doing. Well, it filled up yesterday. I don't know, about 5 o'clock. It was a little more than 48 hours it took to fill it up. I did measure my level last night, and about 12 hours later, it had lost 3/16 of an inch, I think. That's a little much. You shouldn't lose no more than about 1/8 of an inch due to evaporation. So we still got a leak. I'm sure we do, but I just want to make sure we ain't losing like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch a day, because that's what I was losing. And last summer, yes sir, I had 3 months there with $100 plus water bill. I can't do that this year, no sir. If it goes to leaking real bad again this summer, well, it's gonna be it till next year when I can buy a liner. But anyway, I went to hook the pump up, or turn the pump on, and well, it's locked up. The seal on the pump itself was swelled up. Well, I had to take it apart and get the impeller out. Well, I had to bust the impeller. It's in pieces. Here, I had this one as a spare. I'm gonna put it on. And anyway, the seal, here's the seal. It's part ceramic because it busted. Well, I busted it getting it out. The ceramic part goes in here. And anyway, actually, I think they may have been this part here that was swelled up. But anyway, I got a spare one. I got a seal today. So I'm fixing to put this pump back together. But here's the deal with it. I got this pump on a ground fault breaker. They're so aggravating. If that gets any kind of wet, well, it'll kick the breaker, and it will not come back on until you get that dried out completely. Well, I'm done with that. I bought a regular old breaker today, and once I get this pump back together, I'm gonna change that breaker, and then hopefully we'll get this pump going, and eventually, you know, get this pool non-green. I bought 10 gallons of pool bleach today. I'll dump about 4 gallons in it. Let her pump all night. And check it in the morning. But anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. Let me get this pump put together. Well, I changed out my ground fault breaker. Put a regular breaker in there. Went out there and plugged the pump in, turned it on. Well, it went to spitting and throwing fire. So I think I know why the ground fault kept tripping. They can be aggravating though. That one there, if the motor would ever get wet, like if I backwashed and got a little water on it, it would take it an hour before you can turn it back on. So I'm glad I changed it out anyway. But I think I know why it was tripping. Yes, sir, the motor's bad. I had 2 more pumps. Here's one of them right here. Well, I just plugged it in. It wouldn't run. Took the cover off. Had a wire off of the switch. Put the wire on. Y'all watch this right here. Oh yeah, she runs low and high. Yes, sir. So I got a pump, but this is 120 volts. That out there is 240 volts. So I got to change the plug, rewire everything, and put it back on a 120 volt breaker. I ain't doing it tonight. It's late. I'm tired. I'm hot. We'll do it tomorrow. Well, last night I went ahead and put my pump on this motor. Then I went in the house and bought a new pump and motor. I had fooey on changing plugs and breakers and all that. And I just ain't gonna fool with it. I bought what we need, and I think everything will be just fine and dandy. I also know, by the way, opening both doors, it helps with the echo in here quite a bit. It's still echoey, but it ain't quite as bad. So I reckon when I'm videoing, I'll just have to open both doors. The pool, well, let's just walk out here real quick. Let me show y'all. It has lost about 13/16 in 36 hours. The only true way to know if it's evaporation or leak is to get you a bucket or a pan of water, set it right here next to it, measure the pool, come back 24 hours later, measure them both again. If they're about the same, they're good. But if this one has lost more than that, well, then you know you got a leak. So that's what we're gonna do, just so I know for sure what's going on. Today is actually 4th of July. So I ain't gonna get a whole lot done because festivities are gonna start here before too long. I think I'm gonna mow, and I might bleed the brakes on the dump truck again, see if I can't get that a little better. That's probably about all I'm gonna do today. Well, I bled the brakes on the old dump truck. One of the wheel cylinders on the passenger side had a little bit of air come out. It's a lot better now. It only go about halfway down the pedal. It's doable. Maybe the longer I drive it, it'll work some of that air out, hopefully. I don't know. Anyway, like I told y'all, today's 4th of July. I'm fixing to go partake in some festivities. By the time y'all see this, 4th of July was probably 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. Hope y'all had a great one. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Well, it's been a few days since we've tried to move in anyway. We've been doing everything else but moving in, it seems like. Anyway, we're back on this. I've been flopping between this and finishing up the Dodge that we drove out of the woods last week. We're back on this. Here's what's on the agenda for today. We're gonna jump in the old dump truck and go get a load of Crusher Run. Dump it here, make us a ramp. Hopefully one load will be enough. Then I might go get a load of this number 4 here and put it right in here because I'm tired of it being muddy. Then after that, well, we'll talk about it more in a little bit. Let me go get a load of gravel. Well, as you can see, I can't judge distance looking back through a mirror. No, sir. I need to come back 5-6 more feet. Let me get the tractor and get this moved and get us a ramp built. Well, I think that'll do. I believe the S10 will make it up that one too. Well, we know it'll make it up that one, so that ain't no big deal. I tell you what, dude's the closest thing. Well, let's just back him up in there and see how he does. Well, I do believe this right here, it'll be just fine and dandly. Dude come right up, it wasn't even close to dragging, so I think we'll be all right. S10 probably will drag, but we know it'll go up over there, so that's fine. I already tell dude has done smashed it down more than the tractor. We might have to go get another load eventually, because it's gonna get mashed down, gonna get rained on, settle. But I'm hoping I got concrete before that happens. But anyway, I think I'm gonna get back on the tractor, smooth this out because it's pretty rough. Then we're gonna get in the old dump truck. We're gonna go get us a load of number 4. And we're gonna put it right through here, hopefully get rid of this mud. Well, it don't look too bad if I must say so myself. I really thought though it would take more than one load to do this. Apparently not. Now we ain't gonna have no muddy mess right here, I hope. I put me a little out here too in front of that door because that was really muddy trying to get to the door. I'm sure I'll have to have more, you know, eventually. It'll get mashed down in the mud. But for now, this is pretty good. I think what I'll do now, I'm gonna get in the garage there. I'm gonna get my work table moved, maybe a couple of those cabinets and a few other things. Well, I got the tractor in the garage, trying to clear this table off, and it's just goodness, it's a mess. I didn't realize it had got this bad. For years, all I've had is this one little area to work in. This right in here, that's all car parts for Trans Am. The old wind blower back there that we put on dude, it sat over there for 15 years. Of course, I got a great big old 671 blower right here. We're gonna put that on something one of these days. Oh yeah. Anyway, let me get all this in here and then get this table over yonder. Well, I got a few more things moved in. Got my engine hoist. This is all the junk that was on my work table here. Got it moved in. Here's all my power tools that was in my little cabinet right here. That's all I got moved in today. You know, I said I was going to rent a scissor lift and do some spray foam in all my corners. Well, let me show you this first. I attempted to do it in this corner here. Some of it took and some of it didn't. Well, y'all can't really see it. Let me flip the camera around. You can see in there where that did okay, but then down here, well, didn't do there, it just all blobbed, fell out, it didn't go in the crack. Well, hang on, let me show you why it did that. Well, here is the little nozzle handle trigger thing that goes on the can. You know, it's great stuff. It ain't long enough to go, you get all the way in the crack. Well, this comes off. Yes, sir, throw it away. And then I got me some, I think it's millimetry mama, as Daddy would call it. Yes, sir, six mama. And it fits right here on this. Let me put that on there and cut a piece off where we can get on back in that crack, and we'll spray some in it and see what it does. If it does good, then I might go ahead and rent a scissor lift tomorrow. All right, I got an extra super long nozzle right here now. Let's go over here to this other corner and let's just see what it do. All right, let's see if this is gonna work or not. Well, if I can get in the crack. I don't really know how much that expands. I don't use this stuff very often. Let's try her down here too. That's a big old gap in that one. All right, I'll leave that and let it expand. We'll be back in a little bit. At least it didn't fall out. That was my main concern. So we'll let that expand for a little bit and see what it does. Well, I decided not to wait on that because I was tired and hot. So I went in the house. So it's the next day. We'll look at that in a minute. But it just got done storming, and look here. Ain't no mud. Yeah, that's pretty doggone good. We do have a small pond right here. This is something I'll just have to work on till I get it all figured out. But I do believe if we ever get the gutters up, this right here will go away. But anyway, let's get back in here. Let's look at this foam real quick and see what it did. It did pretty good. It expands quite a bit. I need to do a little bit better job of getting it where I need it. But overall, it'd be pretty good, I think. There's me a scissor lift. Got it a little while ago. It was like 978 degrees. The humidity was 4,200%. So after I unloaded that, I went in the house. Yes, sir. This storm, I guess, brought through a cold front, and it's cooled off probably 15 degrees. So it's perfect temperature now. So we're gonna get in the snorkel there. We're gonna start putting the foam in all these corners and cracks. Well, I got all four corners done, and I got both sides done. This one here too. And it's not pretty. I'll tell you right now, it is not pretty. But as I'm going along here spraying it, I can feel the draft. So we're definitely taking care of that issue. It may hurt me right now because I don't have heat and air, and you know, that was probably circulating a little bit of air. But in the end, when I get this heated and cooled, this right here is gonna help out a bunch. Yes, sir. All I got left is going up the eaves. As you can see, that's pretty good gap. I got 6 cans left. There's 2 down there, 4 right here. It should be enough. If not, I'll just go to Lowe's and get some more. Well, I got one gable end done, and as you can see, it's not pretty. It's such a wide gap, it's kind of tricky to make it stay and not fall down on the outside, and this is the end result, and it's, no sir, not pretty at all. I used 4.5 cans on this one end. I got 1.5 cans left. I'm gonna go down here to the other end, see how big the gap is, use up what I got left, then I'll head to Lowe's and get some more. Well, I'm down here on the other end, and as you can see, there ain't hardly no gap at all right here. If I had a couple more cans, I wouldn't have to go to Lowe's. Oh well, let me see how far I can get. Well, I had to go back to Lowe's. I got 6 more cans. Well, from that corner to about right here, I did that with 1.5 cans. Well, from here to there, it took 3 cans. She opened up pretty big right there. Anyway, I got it done, and I even went around the floor and did all the ribs. Some of them I'll have to come back with a knife like that right there, cut it off. But the all the cracks and stuff, they're pretty much sealed up now. I think what I'm gonna do next, remember how I said that right there, that brace being on that side of the pole bothers me? Well, I'm gonna move it, put it on the inside of the pole. Then we'll come up here and do that brace and do that brace over there. Well, I got 1 brace. I got 2 braces. That was sort of a job by itself. Yes, sir, it sure was. I ain't done up here yet. When we was wiring it, I forgot to put a cover on that box. The one over there. And then this wire, where is it at? There's wire, yeah, right there. Is that wire drooping? I got a wire tie it up. Well, I got my braces done. Right there and over yonder. Got that moved, got my covers on my boxes right there, got that wire tied up. I got one more thing I need to use that for before I gotta take it back tomorrow. Well, let me just go outside and show y'all real quick. I'm outside on the right hand side of the building if you're looking at it. And you see that, all them little white thingamabobs. There's some down there too. Looks like you're looking at stars at night. No sir, that's my wall. That's the holes I got in it that I got to plug. Come on down here and you can see some more. Some at the bottom. Let me go back inside and I'll show y'all what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna use to plug those holes. Just a little old plastic plug I got off of Amazon. It's 3/16 what it's supposed to be. That's 187 thousandths. Well, I drilled a 3/16 hole, or one of the holes I drilled it out to the 3/16. It won't go. My next size drill is 200 thousandths. Used it and, well, they work pretty good. There it is right there. And I can't get it back out. So I think that'll work fine and dandly. I just got a whole lot of holes that I got to drill out and put them plugs in. I'm going to start over here. That's where my lift is. I'm going to get all the ones on the top first. And then we'll go over here and do these. Well, I got all my holes drilled out. It wasn't as many as I thought, but it's still quite a bit, yes sir. I ain't putting other plugs in because it's raining outside. Plus it's late and I'm tired. So I'll do that in the daytime when it ain't raining. For now, I'm going in the house. Well, it's gonna be a short day today as far as videoing goes. been busy this morning with stuff to do. Well, I went over to Mama's and pressure washed her patio. And I thought I was gonna mow, but my nephew showed up with his mower and he mowed the yard, so I appreciate that. I still gotta go weed eat, but anyway. Fellas, take care of your mamas. They birthed you, they put up with your crap for however many years. Take care of your mamas. Anyway, I still, my pool pump come in. Gotta put that in today. Also, no, by the way, remember the little experiment we did? Put the bowl of water by the pool. Well, the pool in 24 hours lost 5/8 of an inch. And the pan of water lost 3/16. So that means we have a 7/16 of an inch leak in 24 hours. That ain't too bad. I can tolerate that. But if it gets any more, I'm gonna have to shut her down. But anyway, I'll have to put that pump in here a little bit. Right now, well, I've spent the last hour or so sweeping and cleaning up. And let me tell you, I might have to buy one of those sweepers that you ride on. Fool, you on sweeping this thing every day. Good gracious. Anyway, what I want to do now, get everything where it goes. Yes, sir. Get this conglomerate of mess in the middle out where it goes. So that's what we're going to do right now. Oh, I almost forgot. Let me tell you this little tidbit of information. You know, Saturday we done all the foam trying to get this building airtight. Well, normally with the doors closed, it would still be ambient temperature in here. You walk from the outside to inside and you couldn't tell the difference. Well, it was about 80 degrees this morning when I come out here. And let me tell you, I opened the door and it was like a heat wave in here. So that tells me we've done a lot of good. There ain't no drafts coming in and out. So yes, sir. Like I said, it's gonna hurt me in the short term, but the long term, when I finally get it heated and cooled, I think it'll be much, much better. Anyway, let me get this stuff where it goes. Well, I've got pretty much everything where I want it. I don't have everything in here. There's still some stuff that we got to move in, like the supply cabinet in the garage there. I got to get it unloaded and get it in here. I'm gonna put it there probably, or maybe over there. I'm not sure yet. There's a lot of small stuff I got to get in here, and there's a few things over at Mama's I want to bring over here. But some of y'all had asked, and no, none of the machinery from Mama's is coming over here. I'm gonna leave it just like it is because that's how Daddy had it set up, and that's exactly how I'm gonna leave it. I'll bring some tools and whatnot when I need them, but other than that, no sir, Mama's will be left alone. Right here, I think I'm gonna have me a table or a desk with a computer, and then another small table with my refrigerator here for my cold drinks. What else? Like I said, I'm gonna have racks over here just as high as I can get them for parts, and that's that's what this line of stuff is right here. It's old junk parts. I just figured I'd put them over here because that's where they're going to be eventually. There may be a cabinet or two over here eventually. And if you see, I got my batteries just strung all over the place right now. I got to have one central place for them and chargers. I ain't sure where it's going to be yet. I don't know if it may be over there or, so I don't know. I'll figure that out eventually. Let me show you what I have done outside. I started putting the plugs in them holes. Let's go out there and look at them. Before we look at the plugs, let me tell you about my plum tree here. I wasted my dad blame time putting this fence up because I got 3 plums left. I guess the dang squirrels like plums too. So here in just a little bit, I'm gonna pick what I got left. There's one there, and there's, I think I counted 3. That aggravates me. But anyway, I got these plugs as high as I could reach with a 6-foot ladder. Here they are right here. There's one there and one there. They don't stand out too bad, plus it's on the back wall and the sidewall over there, so it'll be all right. I had 2 bags of 50s and I'm about out, and there's probably 50 more up top there. So I had to get at least 1 more bag, maybe 2, and get my tall ladder and get up there. They don't leak when it rains. I'm doing this for air tightness purposes. Is the only reason I'm doing this. But I think they're gonna work out just fine and dandly. Also, know, by the way, see a little fella hanging down there, and there's a couple right there. Those are those closures, little foam things that we put up there. They're meant for a ridge cap. Well, we thought we'd try it here too. Well, as you can see, it didn't work. If you ever decide to use them, you might spray them with some real sticky glue, and they might stay then. But let me show you this too. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me zoom in. My foam. This is the corner I was learning on, and buddy, I really poured to it, so I may have to get up there and cut some of that out. That looks pretty bad. And there's a few other spots around. I had to go around this side and cut the foam off, you know, down here at the bottom where I put it in the ribs. But anyway, I just thought I'd show y'all that. If you decide to use them there, well, you might want to use some spray glue. Let me show y'all before and after of this back wall of the holes. With the doors shut and lights off during the day is when you can see it the best. And let me tell you, it looks like you're just looking at the stars, yes sir. And then look at it now, it's it's a huge difference. I'm glad to get most of that done anyway, but there's still some at the top we got to get. Let me show you this real quick. Here's my 2 signs that I got. I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave them on this wall. It's right above my work table. I ain't sure if I'm gonna leave them there or not, because this is about a 12-foot span here. I want to have me a big old American flag hanging from those 2 braces, like 8 or 10 foot wide. And then on the back wall, I want me a big old This and That Garage banner of some kind. I got to design that. And then I might move that stuff over here on this back wall eventually. I got a lot of old license plates I want to hang up too, stuff like that. So we may end up moving them on this back wall. Some of you might be wondering, where's your tiger at? Well, let me just show you. He's right there above the door. He is part of this building. I figured he needed a special place. That's where he's going to be. This was supposed to be a moving in video. I guess we did move in, but we did a whole lot more other stuff too. That's what I deal with on a daily basis. You never know what's going to pop up. That's why I named the channel This and That Garage. Maybe I ought to title it A Day in the Life of This and That Garage. I don't know. We did get moved in though, and I'm really pumped about it. This right here, it's not the fanciest shop in the world, but you know what? It's my shop, yes sir. And I'm very, very happy to have it. As far as what the first project is going to be in here, well, you're just going to have to wait till next week. Anyway, appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't mind, hit that like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. And until next time, go do something. Blurb, blurb.